All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to a very extreme edition of the BCP. Rob Williams here. Very excited to talk with our extreme panel today. And I think Kimmy's taking over at some point, but let's introduce her first. Of course, you know her as the goodest sister. She works for everybody everywhere I could go on and on. Let's talk No Holds Bar Network, RDP Promotions, thepopbreak.com, and her first and foremost job, of course. Oh, good. The chat's working. I'm sorry. Multitasking, trying some tech over here, guys. Let me know if you can hear everything. She loves working for the BCP. The goodest sister, Miss Kimmy So KOOL. Kimmy, welcome in. How are you?
That was such a great intro. Thank you so much, Rob. I have to say, though, I will admit, last night at Grand Slam, Rob moved his seat to sit next to me.
Of course.
I think Rob's a mark. Not sure if you all agree, but Rob is a mark. But I'm excited to be back.
Wow.
We're changing it up a little bit. Not AEW. We're talking about a way weaker card, but we'll get into it. So, Rob, why don't we continue with the intros to Amanda and my somewhat enemy down in the other corner?
Oh, wow. She's already steering the ship, but I like you, Kimmy. Happy to have you here. And I'm so glad I got to see you kind of experience your first AEW show with Papa So KOOL. Of course, that was great. I saw you guys just sitting there and you just had like a big smile on your face. I saw you taping everything for your vlog.
It was me, not my dad. It was me who had the smile. My dad was just like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
No, he had fun. He had fun, I think.
Then Orange Cassidy came out, and then his whole mood was like, why is he coming out?
Nice. I love it. All right, but let's get
like Orange Cassidy. We talked about this on the other podcast, Mike. Were you not listening when I made my hosting debut?
Yikes. It's already started.
Tired.
Yikes, I'm already uncomfortable. But please welcome back to the show after a stellar debut. She was fantastic. Of course, you know her as hashtag Supermom, hashtag Best Smiles. She is a cosplayer doing amazing work as Ahsoka, one of my favorite Star Wars characters, wrestling aficionado, Miss Amandalorian. Welcome in, Amanda. How are you?
I am so excited to be back. I'm like, any chance I can get to be on y'all's podcast, obviously here, because you guys are awesome. I was like, why would I not want to be with the coolest peeps in the land? I'm just saying. And y'all are gonna die, but I might drop some hints on my next cosplay here. I could either be seeing some Scarlet, or I could be seeing I could be a gray mystic.
Maybe. Ooh, I'm here for it. I can't wait. Tis the season. Halloween's coming around. I can't wait. But Amanda, thanks for coming back. And on such short notice, too. You're like, I'm in. I'm like, we're not worthy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. And please welcome back to the show, hashtag Fight Forever. You know him from the Closet Champion, the Mr. Perfect of the BCP. And welcome in, obviously, from the popbreak.com, officially, our good friend, Mr. Mike Mueller. Mueller.
Woo! Thank you so much. So good to be here. Kimmy, I saw your little promo that you put on Facebook. That was fantastic. You looked great in your CM Punk shirt and your dollar store sunglasses. It was very cool. But thank you, Rob, for having this and for allowing Kimmy to think that she's in charge and do what she can do best, which is talk and not really say anything. So
whoa!
Also, Amanda, it's wonderful to meet you finally. I foresee us having no issues. It's my all of my beef is directed squarely at Miss So KOOL.
It's true.
Excuse me, sir. Those sunglasses cost $434, and I paid for them with my own bank account when I'm working with all those wrestlers and all those stars. So please do not call them dollar and put Ray-Bans on its name, buddy.
Oh, you got robbed.
I can't. It's already starting. All right. But as we've been hinting to, Kimmy did a great job last time on the BCB hosting. So, Kimmy, here are the proverbial keys. I'm throwing them to you virtually. Take over. I'm going to run some tech, guys. Let us know in the chat how you feel about these matches. Let us know if everything is... Oh, Kimmy, the ego. Ooh, it's already starting. We'll see what happens. She's got no ego. She's killing it. But, guys, chime in the chat.
That was a plant by me.
Oh, okay. It's already starting. But, Kimmy, the ship is yours. Make it so.
When Kyle said he wanted me to be a heel in his E-Federation, he must have known that he was signing up for like some cockamania thing, because now it follows me everywhere. But I will say this is my second show I'm hijacking today, because I hijacked my radio station here at school to talk about Extreme Rules. So
nice.
Here we go. Take two. We are here to talk about Extreme Rules, which is usually in May. Kind of different in September. We should be seeing some championship gold because this is usually Night of Champions. But We're switching up a bit, and that's okay because we have 3 women's matches on the card, and we are starting with Liv Morgan versus Carmella. I am so excited for this match. I'm going with Liv Morgan. I think she needs this win. I believe Queen of the Ring is going to be right around the corner, and she's my early pick to win that tournament if it's going down in Saudi, which was the rumor. So she needs a huge win to go into that tournament and just be the queen that she is, because WWE needs to use her right. Mike, are we starting off with a disagreement here?
Not at all, Kimmy. And I also saw you, I don't know if it was directly to me or in general, you said that you were going 6-0. And as long as you just piggyback off me, you're going to do no problem. We're going to get there together. Don't worry about it. But no, you're absolutely right on this. This match seems kind of last minute thrown together for me, but I'm happy that it's happening. I think both of these women need to have a bigger spotlight put on them. I don't like that it's sort of fighting over who's the prettier girl. That seems so beneath Liv Morgan's character right now, for sure. Carmella's kind of basing her whole character around that, so I can see it, but I don't like it. I think it undermines what they're able to do. I'm expecting this to be a match that exceeds a lot of expectations, and I think neither of these women are really in a spot to immediately be in a title picture. So this is a good litmus test to me, because I think we've been waiting, and by we, I mean really the internet wrestling community, but we've been waiting for Liv Morgan to get a real push. And WWE likes to tease and pull away until you reach a boiling point, and then usually they'll finally give it to you. But by that point, you're kind of just so frustrated with it. And while this match doesn't seem to be very consequential on its face, because like I said, I don't think either of them are challenging for the championship in a month, it is important to see if WWE is going to be a little bit more put their finger on the happy trigger and pull that a little bit more and give us what we want. I don't think anybody is clamoring for a Carmella push, no disrespect to her, but she's been Miss Money in the Bank, she's been champion. Liv's the one that hasn't had that opportunity, and that's what we want. So I'm hoping that WWE does the right thing, gives the people what they want. Liv Morgan should look like $1 million here, and I think she's going to come out with the win.
Amanda, are we going 3 for 3 before Rob suddenly picks Carmella for some unknown reason?
I definitely, we're going to go 3 for 3 because, I agree with a lot of the points that y'all both have made. I do feel like this match was put together last minute, and which to me, I agree that I feel like it's definitely a disservice to both. But both women are just going to knock it out of the park. Both of them will work with whatever they're given. They're both extremely hard workers. I really hope Liv wins. I want to see her get sustained push. I mean, again, I feel like, again, no disrespect to Carmella, she's accomplished so much in her career at this point, but it's just, I feel like Liv, she's just right there. She's always been right there, and you just want to just give her that little oomph there, because she has all the talent and all the tools. She's got the look, she's got the athleticism, she's got the ability to get to, she's got the acting. She's got it all. And just to really see her just as somebody different too, that maybe potentially could get into the title picture, just to kind of break up and just get some fresh faces in there. At some point, I can really see her being down the line, being in title contention. And this could be the start of, and I'm hoping it is, a start of a sustained push. And also, could we see maybe one of these women wind up, because the draft is coming up too. So could this be a litmus test for a new face for Raw, for the Raw women's division? Because there's really not much happening there at the moment. SmackDown is a little bit more going on. And Becky Lynch is going to be the face of the SmackDown women's division. So it'd be interesting to see, maybe we could see Liv going over to Raw, maybe a test there. Or, we need another baby face in the picture, maybe having Liv go there, Carmella go. So I think this is gonna be a litmus test for maybe even the future direction of where the women's division goes for both Raw and SmackDown. Even though it doesn't seem that way, yeah. I think this is a litmus test as well.
The draft is definitely going to help out some major problems on the red and the blue. But Rob, closing out this matchup, do you agree with all of us? Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I have to agree. Jersey girl Liv Morgan has to win here for a lot of reasons. I echo the sentiments of Mike and both Amanda. Very well said. That's why you guys are here. I was just so proud when you guys were talking. I'm like, yeah, this is legit. You guys build me up. I appreciate it. But I feel like, to Mike's point about like what the feud is about, like obviously that goes more towards what Carmella's doing right now. Maybe not necessarily the route for Liv necessarily. I think Liv is just so popular because she's Liv. Obviously like the jersey thing and all that. And like Amanda said, like this could be the start of a major push. There really is no reason for Carmella to win here. Again, no disrespect, but I feel like I always say something out of no disrespect, but I gotta say Liv for sure takes this one, no doubt. I'm not a lock of the night though, Kimmy.
Oh, not yet. I think I know which match you're gonna pick for lock of the night, and that kind of scares me. But from a little put together matchup to the key on SmackDown right now with the Bloodline, we have the Usos taking on the Street Profits for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships for the 15th millionth time. And I will say this before I bring it to my beautiful panel. See, the WWE needs to revamp their tag team division desperately in this draft. You've had the same tag team matches on both Raw and SmackDown 15 million times. You need to either bring up some tag teams from NXT or fix some stuff around because this tag team division is very, very boring. And I'm done seeing the same matches. Amanda, who are you going with in this matchup?
I'm gonna go with kind of the for me it's gonna be kind of the obvious choice because this is the hottest storyline right now in WWE with the Bloodline. I'm gonna say the Usos retained, and I completely agree with your sentiments on the tag team, the state of the tag teams in WWE. I want to see more legit tag teams too, not just people thrown together, which it seems to work for a little bit, but real tag teams. And that's the difference you're seeing between WWE and AEW and in the indies. You have real tag teams in these other groups and these other promotions. And yet WWE was, we're gonna throw these two people together. We're gonna do this. There's no real tag team. I feel like there's no major real tag team division. In a sense, like a true tag team division. So I completely echo. So I'm hoping with the draft, we will get something. We get motivated to be pushed in a better direction with tag teams. But the Usos, I mean, they're fire. This match is going to be fun. This match is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But I feel like to keep, especially for Survivor Series and just kind of keep going forward, I mean, it just makes sense to leave the belts on the Usos. As great as the Street Profits are, I mean, the Bloodline storyline, again, is the best thing WWE has going on, in my opinion, right now. I think right now it's not wise to break that up.
Mike, do you want the smoke or are you going with the Bloodline?
Can I pick both? No. I'm going with the Bloodline here for exactly what Amanda said. The Bloodline works. They're so much more legit with the titles. Without the titles, they lose that mystique. Roman Reigns, for sure. This whole head of the table thing ends when he loses his championship. Usos are to a lesser degree, but since they've really bought in and there isn't that internal friction anymore, I think it's best if this train just keeps on rolling. I know the Usos will lose their championship before Roman Reigns loses his. That's going to work its way into the storyline. But it's not going to happen here. You're exactly right. We need fresh faces in the tag team division. It's really bad. To Amanda's point, and one thing I will definitely give WWE credit for is their hodgepodge tag teams do seem to work, but it's almost like how many times can you go to that well? And it's going to start not working, and you're going to not have these hodgepodges that you can throw together, and you're not going to have established teams that can carry a division. It's in a real state of disrepair. And I'm a huge fan of tag team wrestling. I think, Rob, this is an area where you and I disagree, but I will take a tag team match over anything short of a 5-star singles match. I'll take an average tag team match over it just because there's so many more moving pieces and it's so fun. And both of these teams are incredible. They're doing a great job. This is their third time facing off within 30 days. Their last two matches ended with Street Profits getting a win, both times by DQ. I don't think we're going to see any DQ or count out. I think it's going to be a clean win, but the Usos are going to get it, and that bloodline is going to just keep on rolling.
Hodgepodge tag teams. That's why they should get rid of the women's tag team titles. Anyway, Rob, I know you don't like tag team wrestling, but I think you need to make an exception here for this matchup. Who do you got?
Yeah, so first of all, this narrative is getting a little out of hand. No disrespect, guys, but I've been
No
saying
disrespect.
but ...
Take a shot every time, Rob said.
No, that's me. Every time I say not to be that guy, I'm always that guy. ... It happens. But I'll say this: if you guys on the last, use Kimmy's line, if you guys paid attention, on the last couple of podcasts, especially for AEW, and I'm not doing that whole versus thing, but I was saying how into tag team wrestling I've been because of the Lucha Bros versus Bucks, and before that, everything Jurassic Express has been doing. My match of the year pick, I have 3 of them right now. One of them's that tag team match. More spots than Cruella's wardrobe. I mean, that was amazing, but it's pun disputed. I know. I love it. Kimmy's out. But I'll say this, as far as this match goes, I am excited for this one. I've been a big fan of the Street Profits for a very long time, since before they were on TV and doing NXT house shows in Asbury Park. I saw Montez Ford come out with the cup and do his thing. They've been doing it forever. They were in NXT for a very long time. I said, this guy has it. Like, this guy's amazing. Like, they're both awesome, but he has that charisma. I remember he's in the crowd with, like, the baby, like, picks it up. Like, come on, he has it. Like, there's so much charisma there. I got to meet him after the show. I was like, he was walking. I'm like, I need a picture with this man. He is just amazing. They're both amazing. So much charisma. I was trying to think of a clever pun. I don't have any. But that being said, there's no way the Usos lose here.
The Bloodline is the hottest thing on WWE TV, and WWE would be so stupid to have the Usos lose this early. The Usos need to lose to a legitimate top tag team. The Street Profits have been kind of lost in the shuffle, which is why this match is also somewhat put together, even though I know they've been feuding over the last couple weeks. Don't worry, Mike. I do watch the product. I know that was.
You watch it more than I do. I promise you that.
Oh, I know. We talked about this. We did a podcast and you were like, I didn't watch Raw. And then you were making a point. And guess what? It was on Raw. But I am echoing the rest of you, and I am picking the Usos to retain their SmackDown Tag Team Championships. But from 2 matches on the Blue Brand, we sadly have to go to the Red Brand. I'm so sorry. But it's a triple threat match for the United States Championship between Damian Priest, Sheamus, and Jeff Hardy. And I will echo what I said today on the radio station. Jeff Hardy is sadly taking the pin. Rob, don't even get upset about it. You know he's taking the pin. You don't need to dance. He's taking the pin. Now, are you going to disagree with me? Are you going with your boy? You going with Priest? You going with Sheamus? You have a lot of options here.
One lesson that I've learned many times in life, Kimmy, is that you never pick with your heart. And right now, I got to say, unfortunately, I don't know if he's necessarily taking the pin, but I don't think he's going to, walk out of this one with the belt. That being said, though, he is like those Shield guys. He can win a title at any time. He really can. I could cite examples of him coming back and winning titles out of nowhere. I can cite examples of, a couple WrestleManias ago where they're thinking about giving him the Universal Championship. But I'm not going to, rah Team Jeff. You guys know I'm a big fan, but you don't pick with your heart here. Damian just got this belt or championship. I'm not allowed to call it a belt, apparently. Monster Factory.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. Monster That's a little jab right there. Monster Factory guy from New Jersey. There's no way he loses it that quickly. I think the match was going to be him versus Sheamus. I think there's a lot of backlash on the usage of Jeff Hardy, which is why this match came into a triple threat. I'm about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to make the match better. I think this could be a really, really good one. And just going back to them reacting to the fans, I think this needs to be said, but they've definitely stepped up their game for obvious reasons. I think we can all agree on that. But at the end of the day, the real winners are the fans. And, we'll get into this later, but I'm glad to see Big E with the big W around his waist. I think it's awesome.
Well, I mean, we aren't actually going to get into him later because he's on the match on Sunday.
Big E is?
What? He's not.
Oh, he's not. That's the issue. Yeah. No, I know. I thought. Yeah. Oh, no, I thought I was getting a Kimmy exclusive that I would be excited about.
She knows people.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Are you saying you're not excited for my exclusives? Wow.
You got all of our hopes up, Kimmy.
I know. Unless you want to change your mind and tell us the actual if he's going to be anything.
No? I'll do the Cody.
Him and Bobby Lashley. Maybe announced on Saturday.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
But Amanda, are you going with the Archer of Infamy, or are you going with the Jeff Hardy? You going with Sheamus? What we feeling?
Sorry about that. That's a background noise. That was one of my dogs.
I know, we love doggies.
So there we go. I've got opinions too. So yeah. So
nice.
This one, I'm also excited to watch because the action's gonna be great in this one. I feel like to me, this maybe could be match of the night. Could give you those vibes in terms of action in the ring, kind of how, because you got Jeff Hardy with his I mean, he's taking all the risks, he's taking doing all the high flying, and I mean, you're just gonna have great action in the ring with this match. So of course I'm gonna go. They just put the belt on Damian, so I'm gonna go with the Archer. But you never know. Robbie brought up a good point, and I'm not trying to get my hopes up either. But Jeff, I mean, you never know. You could WWE does do the title switches back and forth. We know that, and it could be maybe we could see a title change. And this I feel like this is one of the belts that could be at risk. Maybe if they have to switch for one, this could be the one, because Jeff Hardy could come in and just take it. Because anytime they put gold on Jeff Hardy, it's win. I mean, it's not, people aren't going to get as mad about it. It's gold, exactly. So that's a possibility that has crept up in the back of my mind. But I also feel like if they take the belt off Damian at this point where he's at, and the fact that he's hot right now, they're going to kill his momentum. And I don't know if he'd ever recover from that, because he's right there at that, he's right there. He's worked hard to get to this point. And so if you take the belt off him right now, is the damage enough to, I mean, I think Sheamus and Jeff could recover, because I mean, they have their established careers at this point. But, could Damian survive that kind of hit? I don't think so. So I think they'd be smart to just leave it on him.
Well, remember 2 weeks ago, Jeff Hardy was chasing after the 24/7 championship that made all of us have no more words. Oof, I am on fire with my segues today, everyone.
I popped for that. I like that. I'm so proud.
Thank you. I really tried. So for me, Michael, because Mike, you're last, by the way.
That's fine. Good. Finish strong. Anchor and bowling.
Nice.
So I think the thing that a lot of people forget about Priest is he's not the youngest superstar anymore. He is 37. Not saying that 37 is old, but I'm not saying it is.
No. I think he's older, and I'm fact checking you.
Oh no.
I think he might be 39. I'm fact checking you.
Yeah, I thought he was late 30s for sure, like 38 or 39.
What's he over under?
39 years old. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Kimmy, there's this thing called the internet now. It's so awesome. You can get all kinds of information.
Yikes!
Before you go on TV. And go on TV now. Just sounds old.
Fight forever.
I ruined it. I blew it. Go ahead.
Fight forever.
Sorry.
Oh, if only Mike could come up with a good comeback once in a while without screwing it up. Anyway, so Damian Priest is not the youngest superstar, which is why I had also said after WrestleMania I thought he should have won the U.S. title. I don't know why we had to run back him versus Mike versus Morrison 15 million times. So I'm excited they finally put the title on him, but I think that he's going to remain in the mid card for a while. I don't see him ever going to the World Heavyweight Championship just because that was his place in NXT. He never really went after the NXT title. He really just stayed with the North American Championship, which is why I see him winning. And I definitely see him staying on Raw, and hopefully with the draft, a lot of new mid-carders move up and face him and have really good matches. Mike, did you think of a comeback yet, or are we still wobbling over there?
I'm letting it go. We agree. Well, let's lay some facts. First fact, in case you missed it, Damian Priest is 39. Second fact that we need to talk about, Jeff Hardy has 23 titles in the WWE, and those did not all come in 1999, 2000, and 2001. This man wins championships. Rewind 365 days ago, Jeff Hardy was your Intercontinental Champion. Jeff Hardy 100% can win this match. Jeff Hardy is a huge addition to this match, because if it's Damian Priest versus Sheamus, I'm going Damian Priest, and I'm not even watching. Let me know when it's over, because it's clear as day. It has to be Damian Priest. Now it does not have to be Damian Priest. Not only does Jeff Hardy not have to take this pinfall, Jeff Hardy can win. All that being said, Damian Priest is going to hold on to the title. But it's important to understand that Damian Priest, where I disagree with you, Kimmy, is I think that WWE has huge aspirations for Damian Priest. Personally, I don't see it. I see him as a United States champion. But if you're using the story of, well, they didn't make him a champion in NXT, so how much faith do they really have in him? Baron Corbin, I don't think ever even got an NXT title shot. You can fact check me on that. But Roman Reigns never got anywhere near the NXT championship. Not going for the NXT championship does not mean that they don't have bigger plans for you. I think they see him as an absolute superstar. I think he holds on to this title until they're ready to have him face a champion. And with all that being said, I say Damian Priest wins this match. I think he gets the pin over Sheamus. I think Jeff Hardy's a red herring, but he's a beautiful red herring, and I love it. I went from this was an interest level of 1 to me. Now it's an interest level of like 8. It's the thing I'm most looking to on the card besides Roman and Finn, just because I think it's going to be a killer match. But Damian Priest is getting this win. What I would do personally is I think you're definitely keeping Roman Reigns on SmackDown, and you're keeping Big E / whoever the WWE champion is on Raw. I would love to see Damian Priest move over, take his United States title with him, never drop the United States title, give him wins over Dolph Ziggler, give him wins over everyone you want to feed in that mid-card level. And then let's have, I would say, the February pay-per-view, because we're assuming
that would be Elimination Chamber.
The Elimination Chamber. The Elimination Chamber. Let's have Roman Reigns versus Damian Priest, title for title. Roman Reigns gets that win and immediately vacates the US title, and we do something for it. But I see them keeping this title on Damian Priest until he is ready to face the champion. And I think he would be most suited to go over to SmackDown and try to take it off Roman Reigns. I don't think he'll be successful, but I see them having main event aspirations for Damian Priest. And with his age, we can't do the Big E route and keep him around for 8 years and then give him the championship. It's got to happen quick. So he's going to look really good. He's going to win this match, and he's going to keep pushing up that ladder all the way to the main event.
Well, Mike, I have a question for you, actually. You know that internet thing you were talking about before?
Oh, you fact checked me. Who did he?
No, not that.
Okay. I'm like, who do you think?
Do you know who Punishment Martinez is?
I do. Is Damian Priest.
Yeah. Do you know what he didn't do in Ring of Honor? Go after the Ring of Honor World Championship. You know what title he held? The TV title, which, backs up my point. He's always been a mid-carder. He ain't going after that world title,
Kimmy, as far as my opinion of Damian Priest, I'm 100% in agreement with you. Like I said, I don't see him as a main eventer, but I didn't see a lot of people as main eventers that got title shots. So it doesn't mean I think WWE has aspirations for him. And if you check our records on predicting what WWE does, you will see that I have my finger on the pulse a little bit more than you do right now.
This panel is getting extreme, and I love it.
Yeah.
Something's got to get extreme.
This is more
right?
extreme than the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
At this point.
Thank you,
This
Amanda.
right here is extreme.
I think they should just book me and Mike on the card, and then that'll sell
I'm here. I'm for it.
I'll pre-show it.
Yeah, that'll sell the tickets in Columbus, because we all know those tickets are. Speaking of Columbus, let's talk about Alexa Bliss, because that's her hometown, and she's going after that Raw Women's Championship as she is wrestling Charlotte Flair. And before I give my pick, I'll give a sneak preview. So Lily, right? Lily's a main WWE Shop.com seller. How much money do you think people would pay for if it had a Raw Women's Championship accessory added to it? Mike, who are you going with?
Oh, you're going with me first. So here's the thing with Charlotte Flair and making predictions with her. It's super easy to make predictions when Charlotte Flair is the challenger. She's going to win. But it's very difficult to figure out how long her title run is going to be. They like to give Charlotte Flair very short title runs, and it's a huge disservice to her because she is the queen. I don't think, I understand your point with merchandising, and that is a good point. I do give credit where it's due because I'm not above that. But the issue with this to me is Alexa Bliss does not need the title as this character, as long as she's still possessing people and using mind tricks games and doing all this stuff with them and using voodoo dolls. Like, she does not need the championship. To me, it does nothing to her character besides sell new merchandise, which is possible. I think we're in for another short Charlotte title run, unfortunately, but I think she's going to get through this one, just because I just don't see any reason to give a character like Alexa Bliss. If Alexa Bliss was doing what she was doing, but she was like super demonic about it, and like there wasn't this, like if there was just a tinge of nice and she was like 90% evil, like the Fiend at the very end where we barely got any Firefly fun houses. How brilliant is Bray Wyatt? But it doesn't make sense unless she's going to be a true unstoppable heel to have her be the champion. She's fine doing what she's doing, and the title adds nothing to her. It takes away from Charlotte. It gives her another short title run. Charlotte's holding on to this belt, and thank God, she deserves a title win as champion.
Sound a little confident there. Amanda, are we going for a moment of the bliss, or are we saying woo?
This was a tough one for me because there's a lot that's happened since this match was scheduled. I'm gonna dive. I'm gonna take a risk and dive into the waters of the scandal that's happened here. And of course, there's been a lot of backlash with what's happened here. Not fully, I'm not gonna fully go down that road, but it makes me wonder if Charlotte is going to lose the title because of her last name, or if there's going to be any repercussions because of what's come out. And I hope that's not the case, because Charlotte has all the tools in the world. For as much flack as people give her, for constantly having gold, she backs it up. She's a phenomenal athlete. She has the charisma. For as much as people dock her, she's put in the work. And I feel like it is a disservice to keep giving her, and WWE did that to her. It wasn't anything she did. It was WWE keeps giving her all these short reigns. And so it's, oh, well, Charlotte constantly has gold. Charlotte constantly has gold. I'm like, because y'all don't give her a long title reign. So I'm hoping what's happened here involving Ric Flair does not impact her, and that they keep this match as whatever originally was planned. So that's what I'm hoping. So fingers crossed. And I have to give credit to Alexa as well, because she has taken a gimmick that was not really hers to begin with. And with the Fiend being gone and that creative brilliance being gone, she's left with this gimmick, and she's done what she can to make it work. And I just if they're gonna have this gimmick on her in the long run, and if they're gonna put gold on her, I want her to go full fiend mode. Just go full, just crazy to just counter out, because the Fiend is gonna make an appearance at some point. Where? We don't know. Ish. We can only speculate, not going versus, but Alexa could be a very powerful tool to counter it. Let's say if the Fiend makes a presence in AEW or any other, but AEW seems most likely. What better way to compete? How much fun would that be if you let Alexa go full blown and have Fiend versus Fiend? Who does it better? The winner's the fans. That'd be fun. And you never have a female fully just go. You never have a female character with this type of kind of edgier persona. If you let her go edgy, that's a whole different, that'd be almost unheard of for like something. Go for it. I
just want to say, no, I'm so on board with you. And I just wanted to add it. I think that this version of Alexa was at her absolute peak at WrestleMania when she cosplayed Bray Wyatt, when she was in that all black and oh my God.
Like, how cool could that be, just to let her go and let her just run with it, give her the belt and let her run with it. But this is us. I wish I could book us to be creative, please. Yes. But we know it's WWE. And if they do put the belt on Alexa, it's still going to be the same version. I don't have faith that they'll let her go full edge, because that would be, again, I would be for it. I'd be here like just having a female Fiend, but like to the extreme I'd be all for it. It'd be the coolest thing on TV, in my opinion. I'm geeking out over just even the possibility, but I feel like, kind of given all those factors, that's where my brain is all over the place with this match. I feel like it's going to stay on Charlotte. I do. Because I mean, Charlotte is not that Alexa isn't proven, but this version of the character it doesn't work with the belt unless she gets edgier with it, or unless she completely changes gimmicks or personas again. So I think it's going to stay with Charlotte because she's got a more consistent presence at this point. And just again, she's proven she's a draw. And right, and even then, even this little bit of controversy that's going on, right, or regardless of how people feel about it and what's being said, just it's all over the place. But that also draws eyes to the product. Because you're like, oh well, Charlotte Flair, what's going to go on? Are they going to address what's going on with Ric Flair? What's going on? So it's there's more eyes drawn to the product right now. So it makes sense to keep it on Charlotte if you want to court the media that's on right now, if you will, if that makes sense. But that's it. That's how I'm going with Charlotte.
So it's interesting because I feel like, Mike, we finally disagree. It's a mirror.
All right. You finally stopped copying off me.
I made these notes this morning.
Okay, my podcast dropped yesterday. I'm sure you were one of the listens, but go ahead.
Probably wasn't, but okay.
Yikes!
That's sarcastic.
Yikes!
I'm sorry. Anyway.
Don't apologize ever to me, Kimmy. I will never accept your apology. never apologize to me.
This is the main event for Extreme Rules, ladies and gentlemen. Kimmy versus Mike.
We need a stipulation. Though.
Yes, I think you need. How about a rap battle like TK?
Oh God, I'd rather do hair versus hair.
Perfect.
Oh, don't put that into the universe. Don't put that in the universe. All right, go ahead, Kimmy.
I think the crazy thing that everyone's forgetting is something that actually a Rob exclusive. Charlotte dropped off Andrade to AEW last week.
Don't say something like that. Put my name on it. But
I mean, do what I want. I'm hosting this thing.
Off record, yes, that did happen. Yes, I'm not trying to make the dirt sheets here. But again, seriously, you're giving your dude a ride. That's fine. You weren't going in a locker room. You weren't crossing any company lines. Let's not make this a thing. I want to be respectful of that. But go ahead.
He got really salty.
No, not salty. Just there's certain lines here. Yes, I don't want people to spin it and do it. I'm a big fan of Charlotte Flair and what she does, and she dropped off her man. I wasn't gonna bring that up, but go ahead.
Well, it goes in my point.
Yeah.
See, it goes in my point.
It's Extreme Podcast, yeah.
Extreme Podcast. EPC. Extreme. Wait, Bob Culture. No, I said that wrong.
Get her, Mike. Get her.
I'm letting it go. I'm taking the high road.
We're off the rails.
So I think Charlotte is actually going to leave WWE when her contract expires, and she's going to go to AEW with her mans. That was the point I was trying to get at.
I think so too.
Oh, thank you so much for agreeing with me. I respect that, Rob. Thanks.
I didn't know if that was sarcastic or not.
Of course it wasn't.
So, Kimmy, do you know when her contract's up?
I believe the end of 2022.
Okay, so she's got some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, I also don't know. I'm just assuming. Yeah. Sean Ross, if you're listening and you want to give me that exclusive,
for what it's worth, I know we're in a whole different world now, but when Flair was on Renee Paquette's podcast, he said that Charlotte, and that was after he left WWE, he said Charlotte is never going to leave WWE, and she shouldn't. It's gold for her. Again, we're in a whole different world now. Who knows how things will change differently, but that was not that long ago that Flair was saying that. And I mean, it's Ric Flair, so take everything he says with a grain of salt, but I thought that was an interesting comment that he chose to make public.
He makes a lot of interesting comments public.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So with that being said, I also think it'd be interesting if Alexa were to carry the Raw Women's brand into the draft, meaning that the Raw Women's division actually needs a lot of help. And they, compared to the SmackDown Women's brand, and we'll get to that match next, they have a lot more in depth where Raw really doesn't. I mean, Nia's out for a disclosed period of time. You have Shayna Baszler. You have Rhea and Nikki as your women's tag team champions. But I can get into that rant for an hour, but I won't do that. So you're running with making tag teams together. You're running out of women to face the Raw Women's Champion, which is the problem. Because the other thing too is Asuka's injured. That's why she hasn't been here. So you're running out of challengers. So I think Charlotte goes blue, Alexa stays red, and Alexa wins the Raw Women's Championship. And when that Lily doll with the Raw Women's Championship drops Monday on WWEshop.com, I'm texting all of you and asking for my royalties. Rob, are you agreeing with me? You're going with the majority down there.
I gotta agree with the goodest sister who I sat next to last night. Of course, I'm going with the goodest sister on this one, and I like the chess you're doing there. Thinking three moves. This is extreme. 3 moves ahead. Talking about the blue versus red. I do think it makes a lot of sense for Charlotte to go back to SmackDown. Raw really needs to be shaken up in a lot of forms or fashion, but I could go on the tangent here. Just looking at it, I'm gonna kind of like, even though I don't agree with what Mike said, I'm gonna kind of go into his way of thinking a little bit. And I'm looking at the card. I feel like you can't do a whole it's been done, but I feel like you can't do a whole pay-per-view without any title changes, right?
Sure you can.
Yeah, you can, but you're right. No, you're right.
All the time.
But like that. Well, that's kind of like because when that happens, you need like those moments. Not to say like a title change is always a moment, but Alexa has taken what she was given or left with from Bray, obviously, and made it her own. Put her own spin on it without completely regurgitating the character, and her obviously like betraying the Fiend at WrestleMania was like the big thing. And I like what Amanda was saying about like, hey, let's take it to 11 here. Let's really go out. You have like the likes of like an Abaddon who I'd like to see more from, but again, that's elsewhere. But I like your thought process. I've always liked those like over the top, kind of dark characters. It's always been interesting to me. But she's worked so hard to own and hone and harness this character, this persona, that I think she does deserve. Not again, like you said, not that she needs it, but I think she does deserve the gold around the waist at this point in this storyline and this persona. Charlotte, like we said, it's almost like Charlotte losing the title gives her another opportunity to get another 16, 15. Where are we? 13 now, whatever it would be. Which is a great thing. And to echo what Amanda was saying, basically just in pure terms of just WWE storyline and everything they've done with Charlotte, I always say is great as a heel or a face. I always bring that up. I won't go on that again, but she's great at what she does. She's great in the ring. My favorite thing is her doing off the top turnbuckle to the outside, the moonsault with she does it with the corkscrew. Oh my gosh, man. More corkscrews than a winery. I don't know. I was trying, but
come back to that. You can do better.
2 out of 10. But I'll say this: I think Alexa wins here, and this might be the only title change on the card. That being said, Alexa Bliss and Lily will be your WWE Tag Team Women's Champions.
Stop talking.
You heard it here first.
Why you gotta throw that into the universe? You've said this now for 3 months.
I own it. That's right. Nicholas won to know at WrestleMania, by the way. The streak moves.
Well, I will say, because I just thought of this when you were talking, Charlotte's doll, Charlie, she's kind of beat up, and she's beating up Lily. So obviously the WWE move is going to be that this doll is somehow going to get involved in this match, and that's how Charlotte's going to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Mike.
So does anyone, I don't know where I saw this. I don't like to say things without giving credit where they came from, but they keep plugging the hell out of that Chucky show, and Charles is Chucky. Chuck is short for Charles. I don't know if there's gonna
they could pull WCW.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it can't be worse. It cannot be worse. So I'm saying we could get a Lily versus Chucky match, or like a 2-on-2 or something really horrible. And talk about things to throw out into the universe.
I could see it though. You're so right.
Marketing, like the class that Kimmy went to today, it's all about doing that cross promotion.
Absolutely,
what we were talking about.
Surprise me at all And they can just say, you know what, it was done in WCW. It worked at that time frame. It was cheesy as it was. People still kind of enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was a little cheesy, but I enjoyed it as a kid watching it.
I did too. And I want to say there's a whole chapter dedicated to it in Guy Evans' Nitro book. And it's probably my favorite chapter. It's so wonderfully weird and understanding the reasons why they did that. But I would take it just for the nostalgia.
Yeah. And that's why you have a perfectly valid, because the nostalgia right there. It's a very valid,
powerful tool.
Powerful tool.
Moving on to the better women's match on the show, we got the man versus the EST of WWE, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Rob, are you going with the man or the EST?
I mean,
and there's only one right answer.
I was just going to copy whatever Mike said, to be honest, but because Mr. Perfect. No, that being
Mike might know that a little too well.
I'm just, gosh. You guys are off the rails today. No cheat. I am not about cheating. We know the story. I do not like cheaters. That's a different story. But I digress. Let's talk about the man versus the EST of WWE. This, I was hoping you didn't throw it to me first because this is a tough one for me. I think this is a little bit tricky. Obviously, we know this has come about because of the quick match. I love what Becky's been doing because as we talked about earlier, they pivot with the fan reactions, not always when we want them to, and at the same time, they have every right to put their product the way they want to do it. But this is obviously a reactionary move. To give them that match that we want. And I'm almost more interested, as we talked about on the last podcast, in the match than the winner. I really just want this match. And I love, Bianca, I've gone on and on about how great she is and how they were keeping her at 30% till WrestleMania. And now she's going all out. She's going to be at 110% in this match. She's going to throw everything at Becky. I mean, I hope they let Becky have this match. I mean, the biggest thing right now, it's not even the winner. It's give this match time. Give this match time. This could be, my match of the years right now. I don't think any of them are WWE right now. And I'm not saying this is necessarily going to be it. Becky coming back right now. She looks fantastic. # wrestling fashion nominee this week. She's killing it. Every form of fashion. Big fan for Becky. That's no secret there. This is a tough one for me. It's like we talked about. Was it Mike that brought it up? We talked about Bianca.
Probably
not nice. Bianca kind of having that climb from the Rumble and just the WrestleMania, and she needed to face some sort of, not adversity, that's not the right word, but some bumps in the road. And now we have that. Now we have that a little bit. So to have her just win it back, that doesn't make sense. This feud could go on for a long time, although I think the brand split's going to shake things up a little bit, which is always a good thing. Usually. That being said, I think the man retains here, but I'm so just excited for this match, probably more than any other match on this card. I'm hyped for this one. I'm fans of both ladies, and like I always say, the real winners, Kimmy,
Are the fans.
The fans.
So I'm going to drop some knowledge. WWE was in Europe this week.
Kimmy, is this your prediction time?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go refill my drink.
Damn, this is off the rails. Yikes.
Savage.
I hope he comes back. Go ahead, Kimmy.
Wow, he just left. That's rude. I'm never having him on this show again.
That's savage.
That is
this is extreme. This is the builder.
I'm so uncomfortable. Go ahead, Kimmy.
Anyway, I'll drop some knowledge, and I hope Mike can hear me from his kitchen.
Nice.
WWE was in Europe this week. Rob, do you want to know what match main evented all 4 shows?
Really? Was it this match?
It was indeed this match.
But that's great because they're going to be ready to go for the. I mean, this is House Show 101 right here.
Right.
That's great to hear, and Becky's hopefully ready. Not to say she wouldn't be. She looks fantastic. She's definitely putting in the work. I know people that have trained with Seth, and Becky's there every day giving advice, helping out at Black and Brave. That's amazing. That's really good to hear. Kimmy, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you decided to come back.
Go ahead. What did I miss?
We literally just waited for you. We didn't say anything. All right, go ahead, Kimmy.
I waited. Mr. I believe. Anyway, so like I was saying, this match main evented the European house show. And they said, oh my God, wow, I didn't realize I sucked this bad. That
I'm
everyone is
kidding.
leaving.
I had to. Go ahead.
So with this match being so good and be
Yes! Yes!
I'm never
We-
hosting this
We
podcast
I love
again.
you though.
we love you, Kimmy. We love you.
I'm never hosting again. You can have Kyle take my spot instead.
Stop.
Maybe he won't fall asleep next time.
Yikes! Boom! Shooting from the hip. Go ahead, Kimmy.
So that being said, I gotta go with my man's wife, the man herself, Becky Lynch. She's going to carry that SmackDown Women's Division into the brand draft thingy. And I want to see some new feuds. I want to see Mia Yim debut. I want to see Naomi finally get a match on SmackDown. Toni Storm. These are the feuds I need to see. I know Becky's really been fighting for it backstage, and I think this is the right move. Bianca can maybe go away for a bit. She's been carrying WWE literally since January for the women's division on Blue. So maybe she goes away for a little bit, refresh, and then come back. Or maybe, the blueprint might come back and come out from wherever she is, because she's been missing for a hot second. But long story short, go with the man. Hey, dude with the drink that went to the kitchen. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm going to echo exactly what Rob said because he was really echoing what I said in previous podcasts. But it's true. And that wasn't trying to be a dig, but no, I have been waiting for Bianca Belair to face adversity, not the person. We know her story. I love her story. If you don't love Bianca Belair as a human being, there's something fundamentally flawed with you. But the character to me has had the easiest road to the top of anybody that I can remember since Hogan. Like, I don't know anybody that's just come in and just win. Her first Royal Rumble, she was the MVP of the Royal Rumble. She didn't win it, but she went from number 2 to the end, to the final 4, I think. Second Royal Rumble, she wins it. First WrestleMania title match opportunity, she wins it, and she wins it in dominant fashion. Like, she owned Sasha Banks. That thing, her carrying her up the stairs, that is going to live forever. Like, she needs to have it, because if you are a dominant babyface champion, I need to see what you overcame to be that, because otherwise you're just Brock Lesnar, and you're great and you can destroy everybody, and that's cool, but I don't care about you personally. So I need to see how she reacts to being knocked down from that level, and winning the title back right here. To me, what lesson does she really learn? Okay, she learned don't accept an impromptu challenge from one of the greatest women wrestlers of all time. That's not a very difficult lesson to learn. You should have known that already. What I want to see is, how does she react to losing it in a flukish way, having all the time in the world to prepare, and she still doesn't get it done. Now she's got to dig in deeper. She's got to reach a place that she hasn't reached before. She's got to get a little nasty. I don't want a heel turn. I want her to stay face, but I want her to have some edge. I want her to stop smiling in every damn promo, and I want her to be hungry, because that's how I care for Bianca Belair. And I believe WWE is going to do the right thing. Becky Lynch is a heel, like Rob said, completely based on the reaction. And if you want an example of winning it and pivoting to a heel on impulse versus having it planned, look at the way Daniel Bryan cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and won his first world title. That was the first time he went around the ring going, yes. It was obnoxious. It was over the top, and it planted the seeds of being a heel. Becky Lynch's win and victory was totally wholesome. It was 100% genuine. There was nothing heelish about it. So this was a pivot on a dime. Luckily for them, Becky Lynch is amazing and can be a heel on a dime. People forget, before she got her nose broken, she was one of the most hated wrestlers, and then she became one of the most loved wrestlers, and now she's become one of the most hated wrestlers again, because she is that damn good, and she is not dropping this championship. She will retain. Bianca Belair will have to fight and finally climb a mountain and overcome her character, overcome some adversity.
Amanda, you going with the man, or are we going with the
So to echo, I really like what both Rob and Mike said about the storytelling is incredibly important here, because, and Mike, you summarized it perfectly. She really didn't, Bianca really didn't have any major adversity coming up. She just power through. And there was really no reason for people to get, as much as it's cool to watch somebody dominate, you really don't get invested. There's really you really care more about somebody as a face when they have the story. You have the complete storytelling cycle. And losing in 26 seconds, that generated probably more sympathy for her than at any other point. I mean, I know I was like, it was like, well, what just happened? It was disbelief. It was straight sympathy. I mean, just watching even Bianca, just watching her reaction, just walking out of the ring that night or getting out of the ring, just your heart went out to her. So WWE would be smart to capitalize on that and tell the story, and not make it such a quick, I got the belt back. You want to ride that out, make her work and get the fans really invested in her. And you can do that by telling a good story, having her, climb to the top again and get hungry. I totally agree with that. I like seeing Bianca. You can be edgy and still be a face. I totally believe in that. And I think that's what people get excited about. It's okay. She had her moment where she's upset, she failed, but then you get back into the fight and you do it. And it just, that's good storytelling right there. And to me, it makes sense to keep Becky, to keep the title on Becky, hashtag like working mom goals. I saw her, I was like, damn, I'm in the gym harder now. She looks incredible for one thing. And I mean, it makes sense to keep her from SmackDown from the perspective. She brings eyes to the product. Fox would love to have her there. It makes sense to keep somebody who's going to keep the eyes there, who's going to cut those like killer heel promos. I mean, just watching Becky full heel with the belt, just the feuds, the possibilities, just the promos, just everything there. It's going to be awesome. So it makes sense to leave the title on Becky, and that's who I'm going to go with. But it also could lead to Bianca maybe winding up on Raw, because Raw doesn't have a top face. So if you do the storytelling right, you can draft her to Raw and have her start her journey there and have her be the top face at Raw.
Maybe Bianca versus Charlotte. Or Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. Have her go up against Alexa Bliss in what way to triumph and capture your story. Eventually, again, she'll face Becky, but I think it would give her a fresh, kind of to Kimmy's point about going away for a little bit. I mean, just why not put her on Raw? Mix it up. Give her some new faces to compete against and build a whole division around her if you really want. She has that potential.
Especially she has run through everybody in SmackDown.
Yeah.
Besides Becky.
Exactly. Give her somebody, give us somebody fresh, and you can continue that journey on Raw and build her up. And hey, maybe a Survivor Series champion versus champion, at some point down the line would be great. She's back with her own gold. Becky has the gold, and just revisit that. Again, it just comes down to telling the right story. And I really hope WWE does that, because they have that tremendous potential right now. Both of these women are so talented to carry that story out. Bianca I think can do it. And it would be good for her, I think, too, for people to relate to her a little bit more, especially knowing who she is behind the scenes. I think it makes that journey more relatable too. So, but I think if they're going to keep the title on Becky if they're smart, and maybe move Bianca to Raw.
One was going to Survivor Series. If that does happen for title to title, I will literally be screaming.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, did you know I was there yesterday?
I did. I saw the pictures. I'm Trey jealous. I'm getting actually to go to my first, again, I don't mean to be versus, but I get to go to my first AEW event in Chicago the day before Thanksgiving.
It's going to be fun.
Oh my God. And I checked it out, and that, I assumed it was United Center again. And then when I found out the place that it was, it's like half the size of the United Center, which I love, because you're going to all just be jam-packed on top. It's going to be like a Thunderdome environment. It's going to be so cool.
Hey, Mike, that means you could say you were grateful for going to AEW because it's the day before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving.
Because I'm grateful for, oh God. Rob, don't give up the pun champion title anytime soon.
No comment.
Well, I'll throw out a question before I get to my main event. Obviously, there's only 6 matches announced. It is Thursday night. What matches do we think are going to be added to the card? Mike, I'll start with you.
Oh, I wish you didn't, so I could have time to look up on my phone. We could rerun the Intercontinental Title Championship. I'm assuming it's going to be something from SmackDown, because Raw doesn't have. They could just announce it on Twitter or whatever. Whatever it is, I assume is going to be a rerun. You can throw Jinder versus Drew? Do they have time to build a Punjabi prison? I don't know. Like I don't know what
that Drew. See, this is what you missed when you went to go get your drink. Drew
tell me what I missed.
Drew was in Europe.
Oh, okay.
By the way, all the Europe shows were main evented by Becky and Bianca. Just saying. Continue.
You already said that, but
I know I won't say it 3 times to get through your head.
If I want them to add something, there's only 6 matches on the card right now. I don't know again what would come. I liked it. It bothers me immensely when you don't have title matches on pay-per-views, and it doesn't have to have a ton of story behind it. It could be an open challenge. I don't care what it is, but give us, these are supposed to be the people that are at the top of their division, if not the whole sport. Like, I mean, and if you even go back like way back in the day to early like 80s and early 90s pay-per-views, even if they didn't have a story built up for a title, every title was on that card because you had to celebrate the opportunity. And I know we got 13 pay-per-views a year, whatever it is now, but it just it bothers me to no end. If we get some filler, if Shinsuke comes out and dances and Boogs plays the guitar and then they go home again, like that's going to bother me. Give the Intercontinental title some love and change the Intercontinental title back to what it was, back to what Cody Rhodes made it, the best version of that title. I will argue that forever. But hopefully we'll see an IC title match, but I don't even know what else they'd add besides that.
Amanda, do you agree? Do you have any other matches you want to see this Sunday besides stipulations?
Yeah, I'd like to see Big E at some point.
Yes.
That's really what I want to see. I mean, there's so much, and to me, it's mind-boggling that he doesn't have anybody, that he's not on the card. So I mean, you have so much buzz around him right now because, and rightly so, he deserved this win. I mean, even just to have him throw out an open challenge or have him, give him Lashley or give him Drew, give him somebody, even if he doesn't have as much of a story. I want to see Big E. I just feel like we're going to wind up with like a 24/7 belt kind of sketch, some kind of filler. That's kind of what I'm afraid of. I feel like we're going to get something that it kind of eats the time. Whereas again, you're highlighting your SmackDown champion, which don't get me wrong, that's my future husband, and I'm okay with that.
Nice.
But I feel like with the momentum with Big E right now, he'd draw a lot more eyes to the pay-per-view too. If you had him just give him something, or just like, a celebration of, give him something. He should be on the card, in my opinion. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that they give Big E something. Again, even to Mike's point too, the Intercontinental belt. I mean, something, some kind of championship needs to be. We need something there. But I really feel like the absence of Big E on the card, I'm like, come on, guys, y'all got all this momentum in the world right now behind Big E. He should at least have some time.
It's a shame.
It really is. And he's Big E. Who doesn't love Big E? I mean, I'm here like, what? I mean, look how excited we all got when Kimmy like faked us out. I mean, we got all excited. That's like, can you imagine how many more people would be like, oh, Big E did something? Like, that would be the smart way to go, in my opinion. But I feel like we're going to get a 24/7, we're going to get some kind of like filler that nobody wanted, nobody asked for, instead of Big E.
A Miz spotlight on Dancing with the Stars.
He actually didn't do half bad.
He did.
Oh, yeah?
My stepmom tells me he did very, very well.
Wow.
So I'm happy. She said he's already better than Jericho when he was on. So
yeah, I have to say, I'm curious. I did ballroom dance for a while, so yeah, he actually did. I was like, not bad, Miz.
Wow,
not bad. But I do not want to see that on my pay-per-view though.
Well, they're going to show it. They were advertising during Raw. Make sure to vote for Miz.
Yeah.
Voting is open till 2:00 in the morning. Now, Rob, with your blurry camera over there, do you have any other matches you're going to add?
Dang. Well, we knew Dancing with the Stars was going to be hit or miss, but I digress. This is my answer right here.
E?
Yeah.
That is one Big E, my friend.
Nice. For our audio listeners, as I unblur the camera, or try to anyway, we'll deal with that later. I'm just going to say he has to have a match. Come on. This is the WWE champion carrying, the proverbial, torch of the company. Like, let's go. Let's have him have a match. This is usually where they throw a Randy Orton at him or something. Not in this case, but I'm trying to think who else is, like if Samoa Joe was there, it'd be Samoa Joe kind of a thing. It's going to be something like that. Lashley makes sense right here, or Lashley, as we saw on Raw, could be trying to, get back into the picture again, which makes a lot of sense. But have him Make Big E look strong. It doesn't have to be a long match either.
How about Corbin?
Yeah.
Happy Corbin with his happy talk show tomorrow that they're debuting called Happy Time with Happy Corbin.
Sure. Have him lose. Like I'm trying to think of possible
that could set it up. That
possible heel contenders that Big E could take on. I don't know.
Seth Rollins. Who?
See, Kimmy
Seth Rollins.
If Kimmy and Mike work together, you guys just figured it out. It's going to be the talk show. I tried.
I don't think I could work with him.
I tried. Go ahead, Kimmy.
But let's talk about Seth Rollins. I mean, first of all,
why he's not on the card? Yeah, why are we talking about Seth Rollins?
Because I want to make a point. He's not on the card. I don't know when he's having this rematch with Edge. He's going through a midlife crisis right now. He's having his wife dress like him. Like, Seth, what you doing, bro? You're making me sad.
Wait, what's the midlife crisis? What did I miss?
He's just going crazy.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
He's a little cray-cray.
That's all right.
I hope
he's going off the deep end a bit.
It's a new parent thing. Lack of sleep, I'm telling you. Just like, I can relate. Lack of sleep will drive you crazy. When I was sleep at night, yeah.
Amanda's watching Seth promos and she's like, I get it.
I'm like, I got you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm like right there with you. I remember those days.
Nice.
And Rob, I think we have to remember any podcast I'm on that's WWE, we are talking about Seth frickin' Rollins. And even when I'm on AEW, I will also mention Seth frickin' Rollins because, maybe Tyler Black will somehow, some way get his way in AEW. That will never happen.
Whoa.
Yeah. But, I mean, the possibilities.
Extreme.
Tyler Black? Malachi Black?
All right, Christina Ricci. You're reaching over there.
I said that to you last night, and you thought it was a genius.
What? So Rollins and Black?
Oh. No, I said Malachi Black and Tyler Black. Wouldn't that be cool? And you're like, oh my God, that's so crazy. We had this conversation during Rampage.
I was going to say it was probably during the show because I could not hear anything. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just blindly agreeing.
It's great. It's a great match. Adam Cole, baby. Let's go. No, it was a good time. I'm sorry, Kimmy. I was trying. I'm a drummer, so insert drummer joke.
And I just sit here and try to host a podcast.
This is why you're here. It's off the rails, but go ahead.
So, in our main event, the only match on Extreme Rules with a stipulation, it is Roman Reigns versus the Demon, Finn Balor. Now, unlike the show I was on earlier today that someone tried to tell me that the Demon has never lost in WWE, that is not true, and I called him out on the show. I was like, excuse me, sir, that's not true. I said, in my podcast world, I'm known as a stats guy. That's a wrong stat. And, sorry. See, even Mike agrees.
No, well, I kind of agree. I agree that NXT lore should count in WWE canon, but it really doesn't.
Not at all.
Not the way that they treat it. So he lost in NXT, which is under the WWE umbrella. Absolutely. It's semantics. I don't know. I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. Perfect example. Mia Yim, bring her up. Yeah. Blue hair, clear mask. Like, no, that's Mia Yim. That's not, That's
not reckoning. Dewdrop, that's not Piper Niven.
Yeah. So they don't choose to acknowledge it. So technically whoever said that to you, I would say on a very, very technically is right, but overall big picture, I agree. He has lost. He lost to Samoa Joe rather decisively.
Right, he did.
You guys are just disagreeing to disagree at this point. That's what Kimmy's like, it's a beautiful day. Mike's like, it's terrible out. No.
It would be more beautiful if.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Mike gets up and gets a drink.
But you have I joke, but you have a very fair point there. Because that's how it be, man.
Yeah.
It also was a terrible day. There was a power outage in my dorm for 20 minutes today. I was in the dark. I did my Extreme Rules predictions video in the dark, and then as I was in the middle of talking, the lights just magically came on. I was like, "It's a sign."
And then the Undertaker was behind you.
I have a feeling Kimmy's in the dark a lot.
Dang! Yikes! All right, Kimmy, right the ship. Where are we here?
So, Michael, are you going with Roman Reigns or Finn Balor? Michael.
I'm going with Roman Reigns until Roman Reigns loses, and I don't care who he's facing. I will never be wrong by picking against Roman Reigns again. Like I care about stats. I think this is a long title reign through WrestleMania, through this time next year. He's not losing. You put Finn Balor in the Demon outfit because that's the only way that it can even be a respectable match. If you look before this came up, Roman Reigns was kind of goading Finn Balor during the whole John Cena thing and saying like, he thinks he deserves it and you don't. I think you deserve it. And we all know that he's saying that because he thinks he would have an easier time against Finn Balor than against John Cena. So it makes no sense for Roman Reigns to beat John Cena and then go, oh, I got to face Finn Balor. He's excited to face Finn Balor. He's not excited to face the Demon. So I think that was a move that they had to make. I'm happy that they're doing it because Finn got beyond jobbed like that. He got screwed. So I'm happy to see that he's getting this opportunity. You have to make it as Demon Finn. He has technically never lost as Demon Finn under the WWE exclusively title, but it still doesn't matter. Roman Reigns is better than all right now. I do think that he's going to have to resort a little bit to the underhanded tactics that he used when he was first champion in his rivalries with Kevin Owens and things like that, where he needed Paul Heyman's help or he was doing the low blows, things like that. Not quite the super dominant Roman Reigns that stacked edge on top of Daniel Bryan. I think that's the only way you can protect the Demon is have him lose. He will lose clean to a degree, but something's going to happen behind the ref's back or some kind of chicanery is going to happen where we can at least say, okay, yeah, he beat the Demon, but that would have been a disqualification if the ref was watching. I think that's your best case scenario. Worst case scenario, he just spears Finn Balor back to Ireland and the Demon is totally shot. I hope that doesn't happen. I think that's most people's fears with this match. But Rob, you want to talk about lock of the night? This is I'd mortgage my house on this, and my house isn't in my name. That's how confident I am.
Nice.
From further notice, I am banning the words lock of the night.
Wow.
Oh, wait, no. Lock of the night. There we go. You know, I dressed up as Britt Baker yesterday for the show, actually. I mean, I think I did a hell of a good job. Anyway, so wrestling fashion. Come on, Rob. You said you were nominating me based on what happened on Tuesday.
You will be in wrestling fashion this week on Sunday, guys. Everyone vote. You know what? I'm trying to put everyone over. I'm trying to get like indie stars names in the mix with like big names on television, and everyone's tagged together. Trying to put hashtag putting you over, and all I get is heat for wrestling fashion. Oh no, this is rigged. Da, da, da. If someone does look, I have one vote in wrestling fashion. I tried to appoint a committee. I got so much heat. Everyone turned up the thermostat on me.
Not so easy to be the booker, is it? Rob?
It ain't, man. It ain't. But I tried. But that being said, it's really a lot of fun. I think everyone's having a lot of fun with it. Kimmy will be.
I love it.
Oh, you do? Everyone seems to really like it.
I don't know almost any of these people because they're mostly East Coast people. And so I don't. And honestly, this is how I get to learn a lot of them. Like,
exactly.
Misha
Job done.
Slamovich. I didn't know her before you did that, and I went and I YouTubed a bunch of her matches, and I'm so grateful. So
Masha,
you're gonna take the heat, buddy, but it's a fight. It's a worthy cause.
Story of my life, and I appreciate that, man. I think Mike's gonna be on the committee moving forward. That being said, as far as this match goes, I mean, here.
I didn't go to you. I never segued towards you. What are you talking about?
I thought you went Mr. Wrestling Fashion, as in what was I thinking? Sorry.
I don't know. I was going to go next.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Kimmy. Go ahead.
I'm never going to be invited back on the BCP ever again after
that. That is not true at all. Who's going to be on tonight? Who are we doing the panel with?
I literally text him a week in advance. I let him know. I'm like,
that's fair. That's fair.
Pay-per-view next week?
Really?
Yeah.
That's very fair.
And then half the time, I'm like, you need to bring on either Kyle or Mike so I can fight with somebody.
Those are legit the words that you text me, yes.
Look, it's for real for everyone that's like watching at home, especially to Kim, your dad, because I know he's a cool dude. This is like, it's for real. It's like 92% work. Like, I promise. It's almost 100% work. So no worries. We're all cool.
So 8% you hate me?
What? Don't worry about 92%. Why are you focusing?
Stats.
Oh boy.
Numbers.
Fight forever.
It's a work. It's a work. I love Kimmy.
Well, he said it, guys. He rolled his eyes, but he said it. Anyway, back to my pick, even though Rob tried to interrupt me over there. I don't know what that was.
What was I thinking?
I don't know. I hope Bill's watching this, so Bill could say I'm an amazing heel and I'm doing amazing work. So I think it's interesting they did the Demon. I think that Roman Reigns, they're kind of building it like, oh, Roman Reigns could beat Finn Balor, but can he defeat the Demon? Leaves it a little bit more interesting, especially because October 26th, he'll be versing Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia, which was another thing that happened on the radio show. The dude didn't know that this match was announced. I was like, this match was announced 2 weeks ago. So with that being said, I am going to pick Roman Reigns until Roman Reigns is going to wrestle The Rock at WrestleMania 38. Not saying that he's going to lose that match, but I think he's going to hold it for an extended amount of time. And like I said, Bloodline's the hottest thing on WWE TV. You can't go wrong with it. Roman Reigns cannot drop this title anytime soon. Rob, you can go now. I'm signaling to you. This is all you.
Yeah.
Don't mess up.
I feel like you're just like patting me on the head right now. Real quick, I just want to say this. We've been all over the place tonight. Thank you everyone who stayed in the chat. Like, these comments have been really great. Everyone had a lot of theories about Becky and Bianca, Demon Finn, and I apologize. I missed a lot of them because we're all over the place. But thank you guys for staying in the chat. Like, I really appreciate it. You guys got some really good theories in there. Keep them coming. I'm trying to keep up with everything, guys. We appreciate you guys staying up. That being said, shameless promo. I gotta go. I mean, here it is. There he is, head of the table, Amanda's future husband, yada yada. It's like Mike said, he ain't losing anytime soon. And at the same time, a little bit of not disrespect, because it's great to see Finn in the title picture. But again, like, him getting completely jumped over by John Cena was like, Urgh. But again, that's your SummerSlam mark. That's your marquee. I get it 100%. And Finn was probably cool with it. He was like, yeah, I'm in a major storyline, but it's just like, it's not the best, just in terms of Finn's perspective, or just looking at Finn. And not the booking. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's a little awkward. That being said, I like how Finn came right back at him after that. You guys had your match. I'm back in the picture. Now it's coming back again as Demon Finn. But to Kimmy's point, now we're saying, oh, at Crown Jewel, he's going to fight Brock Lesnar. So again, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, again, like telegraphing a little bit. I mean, he could win. I'm not picking him. But that being said, the Demon makes a lot of sense here. This could be a really fun, cool match. I think this is just a good match, like, on its own, like, for a pay-per-view. Not counting all the other stuff about Finn getting leaped over. And let's be real, Finn had a fantastic year. PWI 500, I think he was 8. He was in the top 10. We got to do a podcast on that, but I digress. He has had a fantastic year. This is a good spot for him to be in, to get back the title that he never lost. It's a great story. Having the Demon adds a lot. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it is Extreme Rules. This should be the Extreme Rules match. That kind of felt like an afterthought as well. There's a lot of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, a lot of like moving pieces and a lot of like reactionary last minute kind of audibles, I guess is the word I'm looking for here. But it looks good on paper. It looks good on the poster. That being said, much like Nunes is the head of the table over here, the head of the table is going to win this one.
Amanda, we going 4 for 4 with the Bloodline?
We're going 4 for 4. I mean, like, again, my little man just came in today.
Yes!
He's here. Again, hottest storyline. Roman has improved tremendously. And, since the days of Suffer and Succotash and, the days we don't want to revisit, he's put so much into this character and this persona to make it work. And it's so much fun watching him. Just the promos, just everything. It's for me, the reason why I'm tuning into WWE, because I enjoy this storyline, and it makes sense to keep the best thing you've got going. I mean, I do think that the Demon was added in that sense to just again draw eyes and maybe give a little bit of uncertainty to something that seems really certain. And it's just a cool entrance. It's just a cool. I mean, just the spectacle of watching Finn in just full Demon regalia just coming in. For me, I just love watching the entrance too. I mean, he's obviously phenomenal in the ring, but just the spectacle alone is worth watching. So it gives a little bit of an added boost to the match in terms of just the show, the star power of the demon, and not just Finn. Because I feel like Finn the man has taken a lot of damage in terms of just getting leapfrogged over, and just, you know, it seems like when he's in his normal Finn form, he gets beaten. He's vulnerable. Whereas demon form is a little bit more invulnerable. It's a little bit more, you know, there's more, again, more power, more mystique, more, you know, I kind of, as much as I think, you know, it's a cool spectacle to see, I kind of just, I'm okay with it to an extent because it's Roman that he's going to be fed to, but I just kind of hate that it's Demon Finn that's going to get fed, because it's such a cool, and it was protected, again, even though we've talked about how NXT is not WWE canon, and though it should be, it was protected for such a long time. It was protected even, you know, even with the one bump and the one loss that he took, it was still a protected gimmick for a long time. And so just it kind of makes me sad to see that tarnish a little bit more, but I'm okay with it only because it is Roman and he is the top. Yeah, if you're gonna tarnish the demon to anybody, currently in present day WWE, I'm okay with it being Roman at this point. But
yeah, I think without outside people coming in like John Cena and potentially The Rock and stuff like that, they have to find opportunities to create these really big opponents for Roman Reigns for us to take seriously. I am going to murder my cats. I'm sorry for all of that noise.
He's just kidding. I had a feline that might do that. Go ahead.
God, dude. You name a cat Ramon and he acts like Razor Ramon.
I love it. Yes.
Come out and do the little toothpick.
He needs a little toothpick.
Halloween.
I looked for like a collar for him that looked like a gold chain. I could not find one. It broke my heart. No, but yeah, it sucks that character is getting fed to keep this momentum train going, but at least he dies a noble cause. At least he's not losing to Reginald for the 24/7 championship or something, you know, like he's losing to Roman Reigns. It's about as good as a death as you could ask a character.
Right now on the current roster, that's about as good as you can get.
It is. What's bigger than Demon Roman or oh God, there's
Alexa could come in and work some magic. And then
oh God, let's just throw all of our good ideas together and have one really good idea. No, Amanda, I didn't mean to take your spot, but I agree. It sucks, but it's bittersweet.
It is. I'm glad I'm not the only one who felt that way, because I was like, I feel like it's kind of hurting my heart a little bit. It's a little bittersweet. As much as I love Roman, I think both of them are going to do a fantastic job in this match. And again, just being able to, after such a long time, see the demon come out, and just the entrance, I geek out a little bit. I'm like, because it's so cool. It's such a cool entrance. And just to be able to see that would be great, but it still hurts my heart at the same time that but at least it's to Roman. At least it's to Roman. And who's to say Brock may make an appearance? I mean, you gotta do the buildup, you know, to Saudi, and that's smart. I mean, Brock could come in and maybe cost Finn the match, or maybe, just maybe, turn, maybe help him out, and maybe the demon prevails after all. But I mean, that's a long shot, and that wouldn't be wise. But I could see Lesnar coming in and making an appearance to hype, whether it's at the end of the match or just, I think we're going to see Lesnar make an appearance. Yeah. That's my other prediction right there.
And then Paul finally makes his decision between Roman and Brock.
Who's he picking?
It happen yet. I don't think it's going to, I think it might happen I think it might wait all the way. I think they're going to build, that storyline still has to build.
He's not going to reveal his cards till the match actually happens.
That's what I think.
That would be Paul Heyman move.
It would be. Yeah. And it keeps people engaged in the story.
Totally.
Like, is he or isn't he? Who's he for? So I think we're going to see Lesnar too.
They should definitely do like somebody calls Heyman, and then it's like whatever ringtone is who he picked, and it's going to be Roman Reigns' theme song. And we're going, I can't believe it. That totally should not happen. That would be really scary. It's
WWE, don't put it past them.
Yeah, I know. So Mike, I just want to make this official on the air. The only match we are disagreeing with is the Raw Women's Championship match, correct?
Correct. That's the only match you have wrong. Correct.
Does that mean that's the only match you have wrong?
We'll see.
Can we talk about the fact? Let's talk about the last podcast for a second. I wasn't on it, and Mike called me out for
Oh
picking
my
Ty
God,
Conti.
she lives in the past again. Well, yeah, I did, and I was right, and you were wrong. Like, I don't understand what you're upset about. I said it was a bad pick, and it was a bad pick because it was wrong. My pick was right. It's documented. That's not like, it's okay. I'm used to it. You're wrong often. It's not a big deal. But you want to like say that you got this thing. I don't know, Kimmy. I'm cool with it, man. I have no problem. I got no problem with you being wrong. You do.
Wow.
I like to be right once in a while. I mean, see, I'm the host. You're a guest.
You are. And I don't think Rob is asking me to be the host after tonight. So your spot is locked, and I won't argue with that. And you did a great job. You did
great job, Kimmy. Good job. Excellent job, Kimmy. Fantastic as always.
Way better than I did on Tuesday. Anyway, so shameless promo. Who should we go to first? We'll go to Amanda first.
All right. Wow. I wasn't quite ready. I'm going to show some love to our Texas promotions. And if you want to have anybody on, wrestling fashion, we've got some great people down here. Of course, we've got River City Wrestling. They've been here almost over 20 years, and a lot of people have made their way kind of through River City Wrestling. So if you're down here, come check out RCW. We also have Mission Pro Wrestling, which is predominantly women. Yeah, you guys have heard, predominantly women run.
Please come to Jersey. Come to New Jersey.
She's been scouted for Mission Pro.
No joke. No joke.
By Thunder Rosa's husband.
No joke.
Do it. They are fantastic promotion. They are now making their way, of course, Texas-based, but they're making their way around the country. So check them out. They are amazing. The roster is just, it's wonderful. So Mission Pro Wrestling, of course, I get to go tomorrow to see Branded Outlaw Wrestling, which is a promotion that was on hiatus here with COVID, and they're making their comeback. So it's exciting. So ready to see their show in action. We've got Gulf Coast Wrestling Alliance. We have Puro Pinche Wrestling. We have the Hybrid Experience with the Hybrid School of Wrestling. I mean, there's so many different promotions out here. So I'm just going to give a shameless promo for independent wrestling, regardless of wherever you are. Support, because so many people come from the indies, and you wind up seeing them in AEW, in WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact, wherever you're watching, whatever you're watching, keep it up. Show love, because the real winners, as Rob says, are the fans. True story. So that's my shameless promo, and we'll see what I wind up with for Halloween. Again, I've got some options on the table, and I'm excited. I feel like I have to step it up every year, and I'm going to do it. So
I thought we were going to get a cosplay exclusive.
Where have you been?
Oh boy, it's starting again. It's starting again.
You missed it. I dropped hints.
But I was expecting the big reveal.
I know what one of them is. I mean, just from the hints, I figured out.
Okay.
I think.
Because maybe I might not just do one.
Ooh, okay.
I might do two.
Okay.
That's kind of my goal. I'm like, I think I might do two this go around. And again, one of them, I could be a gray mystic. And then the other, I could be seeing some Scarlet. So we'll see.
Nice.
By the way, congratulations to Scarlett and Karrion Kross on getting
Yes.
engaged today.
Yes.
Oh wow! Congrats!
Yes.
Love.
Congrats.
Good for them.
Very
Fantastic to hear.
But I will also give a shout out to Texas Independent Wrestling, because Roxy is your new Ring of Honor Women's Champion, baby.
Yes.
That's it.
I mean,
Congrats, Roxy.
You never know. Just keep your eye on the indies. Everybody out there, just support. Show love to your wrestlers, show love to your production team, show love to your podcasters as well, because obviously you guys share the news. You guys get all the scoops. You guys you keep the news, the information rolling, and you help them build and generate excitement. So thank you guys for all you do, because support wrestling, period. Please.
Love it.
That's my shameless promo.
Love it.
Best sport out there. Mike, tell everyone why I should be your next guest on your podcast.
I would love for you to be my next guest. We could talk about so many things, Kimmy. And that podcast would be the Closet Champion podcast on Facebook and Twitter at Closet Champ. Just released my podcast yesterday with all my AEW and WWE predictions for this week. Like to do lots of top 10 lists, lots of best ofs, state of wrestling predictions, recaps, all that good stuff. You can find it anywhere you stream, on Anchor, Stitcher, Google, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. You can also catch my weekly Rampage updates or reviews at thepopbreak.com. Major shout out and thank you to Mr. Bill Bodkin, the editor-in-chief, for giving me this opportunity. And not only, I'm going to take it off of wrestling for a quick second, not only do I get to give Rampage reviews, but I also get to do reviews for Survivor, a show that, yes, it's still on, whether you know it or not. Season 41. They've been going for a long time. They totally changed it up. It's a show, like, if you haven't watched Survivor in a long time, it's night and day. It's completely different, but it's really fun. I just submitted my first article for that. That should be popping up on the Pop Break as well. You can catch me very frequently on the BCP because Mr. Ed Williams is so generous with his time. And to echo Amanda, support your independent wrestling. One of my big arguments, or my struggles, is I think Michigan's independent wrestling scene is a little bit lacking, but we are surrounded by talent in Chicago and in Milwaukee and in Minneapolis, and there's a lot of great wrestling in Iowa. Kimmy, Mr. Tyler Black, IWA champion before he did a lot of other things, AAW champion before he did a lot of other things. There's a great independent scene happening in the Midwest. It does not get enough credit that it deserves. Phoenix just spent a long time in AAW before he went to AEW, and he did amazing work there. So yes, check out the independent promotions and check out me, Facebook and Twitter at Closet Champ.
Mike really tried to be like, oh, look, Rollins did this and this before he was in Ring of Honor. No,
look, we Midwest. You got to have Midwest pride. We get overlooked. We're flyover states, so I got to let people know that there's some sweet wrestling action happening here too. And we put out some. I was putting your boy over, Kimmy. You see, Amanda, this is why I try to be nice. I try to give her person some props, and she turns it as an insult against me. So whatever. Okay, let's go to Kimmy for her 9,000 things that she does.
Never had so much heat over a shameless promo. Wow. Just think, when I come on your podcast, I think we should start and end with my shameless promo. So you can not only hear it once, but you could hear it twice.
We don't have that much time, Kimmy.
Always a heel.
Are you sure? Anyway, before I was interrupted, I'd like to personally thank Rob for letting me host this podcast again. Don't know if I'm going to be allowed back on because I yelled a lot, and I don't know if people like that. I'll probably get yelled at tomorrow morning by some people, aka Seth. You can find me. Oh, he definitely will. He's going to be like, what was that? That was the worst one you've ever done. You can find
great.
You can find me on Twitter at Kimmy_SoKool. It is right there, SOKOL. You can find me on Instagram at Kimmy Talks Wrestling. But let's talk about the No Holds Barred Network first. And I do it my best friend up north, Mr. Kyle Masters. On there, you can find the All Elite podcast. They're reviewing everything AEW, from Dynamite, Elevation, Dark, Rampage, BT, and whatever else AEW decides to put out there, because they're killing any content right now. Also, you can see my vlog from Grand Slam that I posted sometime in the afternoon. I had a really good time, and I will say thank you so much, Thunder Rosa, for the tickets. You are an amazing human being. Oh yeah, I do know some people, Mike. I saw that.
Yes, you do. Yes, she does. Oh, wow.
It was amazing. To echo it, Thunder Rosa, amazing. Absolutely.
Goddess.
Absolutely. Yes.
I may or may not be writing an editorial about her coming up, so look out for that on the Pop Break, guys.
Ooh. She killed on Dark Elevation, by the way. But also, talking about the independent scene, let's talk about the independent scene up here on the East Coast. Tip does a lot of stuff with Indie Talk. She's currently at GCW right now. I don't know exactly what she's doing, but there's a lot of cool things coming up on the No Holds Barred Network in October that I'm really excited about, and I can't wait for Tip to announce it, because you all know I'm not going to be the person to do that. So make sure to check that out, and please check us out on Twitter and Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at the No Holds Barred Network. Now let's talk about the topbreak.com with my man Bill Bodkin, that I'm so grateful for, because he makes my crappy articles sound absolutely amazing, as I tell him every single time I submit an article. I reviewed last week's controversial Dark Side of the Ring. I wrote all about the Ring of Honor Women's Division tournament that Roxy won. Damn right. Killed it. That was the best match of the pay-per-view, by the way, and I'm not even being biased. You can see my friend's review when they did the reunion. I wrote there too. And there's also an article coming out of why WWE's women's division is going backwards that I might have went a little overboard with, but sorry, Bill. So please check out thepopbreak.com as the three of us write on it. And it's not just wrestling, it's TV, it's movies, it's music. Now that concerts are coming back. And Bill actually just covered a music festival, actually, live in person. That's kind of cool. What else do I do? Oh, I work with wrestlers. Right. Almost forgot that one. Mike, I definitely saved that one for last on purpose. So, Legends of the Ring is a beautiful convention that's coming to the East Coast next week in New Jersey. And must I say, I get to work with Lana Friday night. That's right. Formerly known as Lana, aka CJ Perry, will be live on East Coast Autograph Auctions Facebook page. So make sure to check out it at 8 o'clock Eastern. Get your stuff signed, ask some questions, and I will be there live. I'm also working with Matt Hardy. I'm also working with Extreme Expose. I'm also working with the beautiful people. I'm also working with Allie the Bunny. And there's probably, I think, 3 or 4 people I'm missing, but make sure you check it out on the virtual signings. But if you want to go there live, it is in New Jersey. The Varsity Blondes are going to be there. Lana, the Iconics, Malachi Black, Buddy Murphy, Buddy Matthews, formerly known as Buddy Murphy, and over 70 guests. It's our biggest convention yet. So please, tickets are running out. If you want to see me, I'll be there in person running around like a maniac. So make sure to be there. And also, I'll start promoting the big event in November. AJ Lee's going to be there with her first WWE appearance since, well, her first one. So make sure to check that out too. And it's AEW Day on November 14th. Kenny Omega. Whoa, plus a whole lot more to come. So please check that out if you're on the East Coast. And that's it for me. And that's it for the BCP. So make sure to stay safe, stay positive, and take care of each other. And we are out. Peace.